am Dr. Mohammad Ruhul Amin, working as Associate Professor and Head of the Department of the Ophthalmology. Today I will talk about the questions on glaucoma, which are usually asked in Viva table and may come in the written exam. In glaucoma, the first question is, what is glaucoma? Now I want to know from you, can you give the definition of the glaucoma? Sharmin, Rule 12. You make a specific intraocular pressure range, but you should give the answer in general, because the raised intraocular pressure not only the factor for glaucoma. There may be glaucoma with normotensive. There may be normotensive glaucoma. That is, pressure is normal, but there is glaucoma. So that answer should be generalized. Like, glaucoma may be defined as optic neuropathy with characteristic appearance of optic disc and specific pattern of visual field defects that is associated frequently but not invariably with raised intraocular pressure. We will prefer this definition. You should answer like this. Another definition you may give, it is a group of disease that have characteristic optic neuropathy with associated visual field loss, for which elevated intraocular pressure is one of the primary risk factor. The first definition is more appropriate and it is more acceptable by all the examiners. Next, there may be a question, what are the signs of primary open angle glaucoma? The primary open angle glaucoma, what signs we usually see? You know the signs, what are the things we determine after examination of the patient? These are the signs. Like, if you measure the intraocular pressure, it is usually high, more than 21 millimeter of mercury. Rarely it is low teens. Amra boli je, we tell it there is always intraocular pressure is high teens. High teens, that means it is more than 19, 13 to 19. And rarely it is low teens, that is, rarely it is 12, 10 or 11. But most of the cases, the pressure is usually ranges from 13 to 21. IFE is slightly higher, 1 to 2 millimeter mercury in more severely affected eye. If we examine the optic disc, we see there is glaucomatous cupping and parapupillary changes are identical with the primary open angle glaucoma. Sometimes we get splinter hemorrhage at the disc margin frequently in most of the cases, and there is thinning of the neuroretinal rim, specifically inferiorly and infratemporally, and there is shallow pale sloping of the neuroretinal rim in case of senile sclerotic groove. Besides this, we also get there is focal, polar and notching in the neuroretinal rim, and there may be in case of focal ischemic group. There is two group. One is senile sclerotic group, another one is focal ischemic group. In senile sclerotic group, we see shallow pale sloping of the neuroretinal rim. In case of focal ischemic group, we see focal, polar and notching in the neuroretinal rim. We determine the visual field by computerized visual field analyzer. There is so many instruments like Octopus and Humphrey. Humphrey is more reliable. By that instrument, we can analyze the visual field and we see the changes like generalized diffraction. There is generalized diffraction of the visual field. There is pre-paracentral scotoma. There may be arcuate or Zeram scotoma. There is nasal strip. There is altitudinal defect in the visual field. There is ring scotoma. There is temporal wedge. These are the changes in the visual field. what are the treatment option in case of primary open angle glaucoma? If you ask the treatment option, what are the treatment option? You say there is two option, actually medical treatment, another one is surgical treatment. Medical treatment usually start with the topical beta blockers or like betaxolol or timolol maleate and prostaglandin analog like latanoprost, travoprost, bimatoprost. The travoprost is the superior than latanoprost. In systemic administration of calcium channel blocker, we also give to increase the capillary perfusion in the optic nerve head. Sometimes we know there is association of hypertension with glaucoma, so that we should monitor the blood pressure 24 hours for diagnosis of nocturnal hypotension to avoid the antihypertensive drug at bedtime. Nowadays, it is better to advise that to take the antihypertensive drug at morning, because if you take it in the night, there may be hypotension in the last night, so that there will be less circulation into the optic nerve head, which may also a cause of optic neuropathy, that is there is damage of the ganglion cell and lead to the glaucoma, though the intraocular pressure will remain non-potential. Surgical options are argon laser trabeculoplasty, and another one is argon laser trabeculoplasty. It is non-invasive. There is no need of or surgical interference, and another one is trabeculectomy. Trabeculectomy, there is we make a filtration bag by making a communication between the anterior chamber in the subconjunctival space. Another question may ask you, name the drugs which are used in open angle glaucoma. In that case, you should only mention the name of the drugs, which are I already mentioned, like timolol maleate, that is the in the market is found in as Timo drop or Timo press. You may give brimonidine preparation. You may give the prostaglandin analog like travoprost, latanoprost. Another portion may ask you what are the signs of acute primary angle closure glaucoma. What are the signs of acute primary angle closure glaucoma? In that case, you will get very high intraocular pressure. It is usually 50 to 60 millimeter of mercury. There is ciliary congestion. There will you get the shallow anterior chamber, hazy cornea due to the corneal edema, and there is fixed oval semi-dilated pupil. When a patient come with acute angle closure glaucoma, we usually measure the intraocular pressure by non-NCT, that is non-contact tonometer, or digitally we assess the condition, because as there is edema in the cornea, we do not apply any Shure tonometer, that is contact on contact tonometer, because it may cause corneal abrasion. So that in that case, we should assess the case digitally, or it is theoretically we know when there is corneal edema, at least there is intraocular pressure more than 50 millimeter of mercury. So you can think that the pressure is at least more than 50 millimeter of mercury without measuring the intraocular pressure. Only you feel the eyeball digitally by doing the fluctuation test. You determine whether the pressure is raised or not. Another signs we get, there is shallow anterior chamber. I already tell, hazy cornea due to the corneal edema, fixed oval and semi-dilated pupil. That is, so in summary, in case of acute congestive glaucoma, acute primary angle closure glaucoma, we get the intraocular pressure more than 50 to 60 millimeter of mercury, or in range of 50 to 60 millimeter of mercury. There is shallow anterior chamber, and there is hazy cornea due to corneal edema, and there is fixed oval and semi-dilated pupil. What are the treatment option of the acute angle closure glaucoma? আমরা কি ট্রিটমেন্ট দেব অ্যাকুইট অ্যাঙ্গেল ক্লোজার গ্লুকোমাতে? হ্যাঁ, উই initially we give carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, that is the acetazolamide. We usually we can give it orally as well as in topically. Topically we get the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor in the name of Benozole, Brinjab, etc. And we give the myotics, that is the pilocarpine, which will constrict the pupil so that the angle will become open. Sometimes we give hyperosmotic agent like mannitol, 20% mannitol, or glycerol. Glycerol can give orally, and mannitol we give in the IV fluid. Subsequent treatment is the laser iridotomy in both the eyes. In some cases, trabeculectomy if angle remains closed. After giving the myotics, if the angle is not open, then we go for surgical intervention like trabeculectomy after controlling the intraocular pressure. Another question you may ask as what is the classification of the glaucoma? Classification according to the nature of process resulting in obstruction of the aqueous flow, we classify the glaucoma as primary angle closure glaucoma, primary open angle glaucoma, and congenital glaucoma. Congenital glaucoma may be primary or infantile, it may be secondary to some developmental anomalies like aniridia, primary hyperplastic, vitreous, Riger's anomaly, Peters anomaly. These anomalies are sometimes associated with the congenital glaucoma. Another secondary glaucoma, that is the congenital secondary glaucoma, it may be angle closure, it may be open angle, it may be pupillary block glaucoma, it may be due to intraocular tumors. You may ask name some anti-glaucoma drug, then we should mention some name of the some drugs like beta blockers, timolol maleate 0.25% or 0.5%, which is available in the market as Timopres or Timodrop. And you may mention about the brimonidine preparation. It is found in the market as Brimo or brimonidine drop. There is also combination of brimonidine plus timolol maleate, and it is found in the market as in the name of Brimopres, brimonidine plus, etc. And then you may mention about the prostaglandin analog. It is found as Treboprost, Abaton, in the name of Abaton, Treboprost, Trebast, in the name of Trebast you can get in the market, and Latanoprost preparation. And besides this, you can mention about the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, topical carbonic anhydrase inhibitor in the preparation brinzolamide and dorzolamide preparation, which are found in the market in the name of Benozole, Brinjab, etc. If you asked classify the glaucoma drug, then you should mention as beta blockers, as carbonic anhydrase inhibitor, as prostaglandin analog, like this. You give the headings and tell the example. And if you asked in the Bible table, just mention some drugs, just you mention the name of the drugs like this. You may ask what is intraocular pressure. You know the lateral pressure exerted by the content of the intraocular structures is called the intraocular pressure. What is the normal range of intraocular pressure? You may ask, you may tell as it is 15 plus minus 6. 15 plus minus 6, that is, it may be 9 to 21. Aqueous formation and drainage pathway. You may ask the physiology question from eye physiology, like what is how aqueous is formed and what is the drainage pathway. Aqueous is formed by both active process and passive process, that is the diffusion and ultrafiltration by the ciliary process of the ciliary body. After forming in the ciliary process and ciliary body, it passes, it accumulates in the posterior chamber, then it passes to the anterior chamber through the pupil, then it drains through the angle of the anterior chamber to the slants canal, and then to the episcleral vessel and to the systemic circulation. Then you may ask about what are the methods of measuring intraocular pressure. Then you can tell like this, that there is you can measure instrumentally and digitally, that is with our fingers, digitally and instrumentally. Digitally, how we measure the intraocular pressure? You may ask, then you should demonstrate the procedure, you should practice it. Usually we ask the patient to look down and we place our index finger over the eyeball above the level of the tarsal plate. Then we do the fluctuation test. We make a tap with the one finger and feel by the another finger, and during doing this test, we place our other fingers over the forehead, and other instrumental process instrumental procedures are that is contact procedure, that is the indentation method, and non-contact procedure, that is the non-indentation method. Contact procedure, that is the indentation method, like shear stonometer. Shear stonometer দিয়ে আমরা যেটা মাপি, that is the shear stonometry, and the non-contact tonometer and CT. সংক্ষেপে in brief we tell it and CT machine. Another question may come like problem oriented. There may be a question like this: a patient of 50 years old woman complain of uniocular sudden painful red eye with dimness of vision. What are the differential diagnosis? Here the most important diagnosis is the acute congestive glaucoma. Another question you may ask, what are the ocular investigation done to diagnose glaucoma? In that case, you should mention first of all that we measure the intraocular measurement of the intraocular pressure, then evaluation of the visual field, that is the analysis of the visual field. We may do it in the bedside and by with the help of computerized method. Bedside we do it by the confrontation test, and instrumentally by the Humphrey or Octopus computerized visual field analyzer, and then we do the fundus photograph to see to record the condition of the optic disc, that is the to record the CD ratio, to record the condition of the neuroretinal rim, and then we do OCT for knowing about the thickness of the neuroretinal sensory nerve fiber layer of the retina, and the condition of the optic disc. And these are the tests we do for the diagnosis of glaucoma. Another is the angle evaluation. In case of angle closure glaucoma, we we examine the angle of the anterior chamber by the gonioscope. We do gonioscopy to see the angle of the anterior chamber, whether it is narrow or it is open or it is occludable. We categorize like this. You may ask the what are the treatment of the surgical treatment of the primary open angle glaucoma and primary angle closure glaucoma. In both the cases, surgical treatment is the same trabeculectomy. Besides this, we can do the shunt surgery. We nowadays we also do the implantation of the splint in the angle to make a continuous drainage channel between the anterior chamber and the subconjunctival space. You may ask another question like what is secondary glaucoma? Secondary glaucoma may be defined as due to secondary causes. That is, it may be drug induced, it may be lens induced glaucoma. Drug induced, if you take steroid for a long time, there is rise in intraocular pressure. Those are steroid sensitive. And lens induced, that is, when there is cataract, due to, in case of intumescent cataract, the angle becomes narrow due to swelling of the lens, so that there is development of the secondary glaucoma. Another one is the phacolytic glaucoma. It is also a secondary glaucoma. In this case, the lens material comes out from the comes out into the anterior chamber through the lens capsule and then deposited in the trabecular meshwork and causes obstruction in the drainage of the aqueous, so that there is rise in intraocular pressure. It is another example of secondary glaucoma. Then you may ask how phacolytic glaucoma is managed. In case of phacolytic glaucoma, we first of all we reduce the intraocular pressure, and then we extract the lens, and as a result the intraocular pressure will becomes controlled. But how we will reduce the intraocular pressure in phacolytic glaucoma? In phacolytic glaucoma, we give the carbonic anhydrase inhibitor both topically and systemically, and we also give the injection mannitol 20%, 1 milligram per kg body weight within 30 minutes to 1 hour, so that there will be dramatic reduction of the intraocular pressure. And after controlling the intraocular pressure, we go for surgical extraction of the cataractous lens at the same time with the implantation of the intraocular lens. Today, these are the most likely questions which are usually asked in the Viva table on glaucoma, and some questions you may also get in the written exam. So, today here is the end of my lecture. Thank you all.